Morning, everyone. Andrew, it's been a while, man. Schedule's crazy. Been traveling around doing some crazy stuff. But we're here now. We're here now. Let me make sure I got my still camera set to the right white balance. I'm going to take a shot real quick. Hang on one second. Oh, they needed that for the truck, but they sent it to the press too. It was Tracy's fault. Oh, so sorry, guys. So sorry, but they're killing the tone now. So they needed it for the production, but they sent it over our bridge too. So apologies, but it's Tracy's fault, and he said I can blame him. So blame the audio engineer. Scott Wagner, I appreciate you, sir. Glad to be back at the Apex.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oscar Willis is actually flying out tomorrow, I believe. I am not going to do Singapore, so what we'll do next week? Think about maybe some kind of watch along or just hang out and chat, something. I don't know. That's the new community rules. Die hard. Don't be a dick. We can talk about whatever we want. But if you're a dick, you get booted. Yeah, sorry, Scott McCrate. Apologies for that. Not my fault. I heard it right away. I brought it down as soon as I could. Not my fault. And I'm happy to take responsibility when it's my fault. John Anik in the house. You know it's a big fight. All right. I see Jeff Mullen in the house. A little blown out there, a little bright. I'm going to crank this down a little bit. So, how you doing, sir? Good to see you this morning. Yes, sir. See, that's what I'm talking about, Stairway to 7. Hope everyone is having a blessed day. Spread the love and positive energy. That's what we're talking about. Yeah, there you go, Scott McCrae. We was just trying to wake everybody up. Well, you know, I mean, John Anik's in the house. It must be. Ratings just popped up. 22 seconds late, Heidi. 22 seconds late.
All right, thank you all for being here for the official weigh-in for UFC Fight Night. Volkov versus Rozenstruik. We are wall-to-wall on ESPN Plus tomorrow night, and we will begin with a main card fighter in the UFC Women's Flyweight Division, Poliana Botello. Official weight 125.5 for Poliana Botello. All right, moving on now to the featured prelim in the UFC strawweight division as we welcome back Felice Herrig. Woo, woo.
$115.
115, the official weight for Felice Herrig. All right, moving on now to the co-main event in the UFC's featherweight division as we say hello to the 13th ranked Movsar Evloev.
$146.
146 for Movsar Evloev. All right, next athlete to the scale competing in the UFC men's flyweight division, El Jefe, Jeff Molina.
$125.5.
125.5, the official weight for Jeff Molina. All right, next fighter to the scale in the UFC's women's flyweight division, Erin Blanchfield.
$124.5.
Official weight 124.5 for Erin Blanchfield. All right, next athlete to the scale in the UFC's featherweight division, Damon Jackson.
$145.5.
Official weight 145.5 for Damon Jackson. All right, now we welcome on the other half of the featured prelim in the UFC's strawweight division, Karolina Kowalkiewicz.
$115.5.
115.5 for Karolina Kowalkiewicz. All right, now moving back to the main card in the UFC's light heavyweight division, Alonzo Menafield.
$205.
205, the official weight for Alonzo Menafield. All right, next fighter to the scale, set to make his UFC debut in the welterweight division, Rinat Fakhretdinov.
$170.5.
170.5, the official weight for Rinat Fakhretdinov. All right, next up, a prelim in the UFC's lightweight division, Benoit Saint-Denis.
$155 and a half.
155 and a half for Benoit Saint-Denis. Oh, man. Nice to see you.
You good?
How are you? Good. All the best tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
All right, next fighter to the scale, competing in the UFC's lightweight division, Nicholas Stolze.
$156.
156, the official weight for Nicholas Stolze. Good to see you, buddy. How are you? Good. All right, back to the main card now. ESPN Plus in the UFC's flyweight division, Zaruk Adashev. And is this next one?
$125 and a half.
125 and a half, the official weight for Zaruk Adashev. Thank you, babe.
Viewers go up when John Anik's in the shot.
Are we going light heavyweight? What are we doing? Yeah?
I don't know what they do. Yeah.
Light heavyweight? Yeah? Yeah. All right. All right, next fighter to the scale in the UFC's light heavyweight division, Askar Mozarov.
$204 and a half.
204 and a half, the official weight for Askar Mozarov. All right, next fighter to the scale, making her UFC debut here tomorrow night, Karine Silva.
$125.
125, the official weight for Karine Silva. All right, next athlete to the scale in the UFC's bantamweight division, Kid Kavenbo, Johnny Munoz. Official weight 135 for Johnny Munoz.
All right, looks like maybe we got ourselves a little break here. How's everybody doing this morning? Not a huge run to start out with. Still got a lot of people left to go. It's early. 1 hour earlier than normal. Appreciate everybody joining us in here. I did not catch one this morning. I saw somebody asking about that. Anything we need to look out for on one? I'm definitely going to watch it afterwards. I wanted to watch it, but, man, Pacific time's tough when going to the weigh-ins because it'd be like 2:30 in the morning my time to start the prelims, and 5:30 in the weigh-in, so I'm just going to watch it on a replay. Scott McCrate, always here. Big supporter. Appreciate you. MPTV. Doesn't think Poliana's a finisher on the ground. Poliana's in a tough spot. Oh, I see Mike Trisano over there on the left. Looks like we're getting back to business. Just as we start to chat, we keep the weigh-ins going.
All right, now we get to one half of a featured bout on the main card in the UFC's featherweight division. Michael Trisano. Official weight 145.5 for the lone wolf, Mike Trisano.
Yeah, MP, man, I appreciate that. Slowly but surely, man. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna keep growing this thing slowly but surely. You know, we'll just keep the good content coming, man. I'm an MMA fan just like you guys, man. We're not doing no tricks. We're not doing nothing crazy. We're just gonna provide access and cover the sport, and people will find us. I believe that. So thank you, man. I appreciate it, and thank you for saying the interview's been great, man. I appreciate that. Oh wow, two liver shot finishes. Andrew says, "All right, cool. I'm planning on checking it out this afternoon. As soon as I get home, I'll watch the replay." Trisano versus Almeida, man. Almeida, dangerous, right? Dangerous newcomer. Scott says the main event was dope. Definitely be checking it out.
All right, next fighter to the scale in the UFC's bantamweight division, Tony Gravely. $135.5, the official weight for Tony Gravely. All right, next fighter to the scale in the UFC flyweight division, J Aldrich. $125, the official weight for J Aldrich.
Yeah, Andrew, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think they do a lot of testing over there.
All right, next fighter to weigh in the UFC's featherweight division, Lucas Almeida.
$145 and a half.
145 and a half, the official weight for Lucas Almeida.
Well, originally they had us over here at Holiday Inn on Volkov, and then they moved us over to like,
Stairway, I love that positivity, bro. See, that's the kind of vibe we're looking for around here. We want that positive energy. I appreciate that's the tone we're gonna set as we grow this thing forward. The OGs that are here right now, we're gonna make sure this is a positive place, a fun place. So I appreciate that. And Ige to KO Evloev, man, I'd love to see it. I love Dan Ige, man. That dude's such a good dude and exciting and fun. And man, I thought he had a great media day interview, man. I think he's just so open and honest about everything. Evloev though is tough, man. But as Ige said, look, he doesn't finish people, so that means I got a chance to finish him. And I think that's a great way to look at it. Like, okay, yeah, he's gonna wrestle the hell out of me, but I can, I still have opportunities to finish him. So looking forward to that one. Mark Fellows in the house. Frosty Beverages. 1 hour early. Good to see you, Mark Fellows. Hope you guys checked out the MMA Roadshow this week. I was definitely having Frosty Beverages. My man Cold Coffee was not. Robert Barrow. I heard that that's the fight that they want, that the UFC was proposing with Sean Brady and Bilal Muhammad, but I've also been told Bilal is looking for a different fight, so we'll see. But that's the matchup I heard that was there. Oh, shout out to listening to Dan Tom break things down. Much respect to Dan Tom. Happy to see Dan Tom back training. He joined the media crew over there that's doing the Train Alta over at Extreme Couture. So Cole Coffey, Amy Kaplan, Oscar Willis, and now Dan Tom. They're all doing those 7 a.m. workouts over at Extreme Couture, man. But I got much love for Dan Tom, dude. He can definitely break it down. Yeah, good point, Stairway. Good point. Thank you, Scott. Yeah. The numbers were good this past weekend for the 2 CFFC shows and the grappling shows. It looks like we're going to add some more shows to the schedule. Is what I was seeing. So I think the UFC's seeing the numbers and they're really liking them, and they're seeing how much the athletes love to do it. Right, it's another chance to compete. And it just picked up the mic. It looks like we're getting back to business. But yeah, the grappling, using these UFC athletes, a lot of fun.
All right, next fighter to the scale, competing in the UFC men's flyweight division out of Kazakhstan, Zhalgis Zhumagulov.
$126.
126, the official weight for Zhalgis Zhumagulov.
I like that Jagas Jeff Molina fight, man. I like that one a lot. Haha. Richard Noggin, that's what's up. Appreciate you. Thank you very much for saying that, man. I really appreciate that. It's man, you know, I talked to some people. Scary leaving MMA Junkie, man. Scary leaving MMA Junkie. Obviously, 15 years there, man, and we built a team over there. We built a force, but man, when you're not being respected, not being appreciated.
All right, next fighter to the scale, making his UFC debut in the featherweight division, Dan Orgetta.
$145 and a half.
145 and a half, the official weight for Dan Orgetta.
Yeah, stay away. I like Jeff Molina there too, man. I really like Jeff Molina. But as you said, NP, is he gonna stop the takedown? Ooh, NP going hard against Orgetta. Yeah, Andrew, I appreciate that, man. You know, it's hard. It's so difficult, man, because I had so many good years there, man. And honestly thought I'd never leave that place, man. Honestly thought I'd be an MMA junkie till the day I died, man. I wanted nothing more than that, to be honest with you. I was so proud of what we built there and the team that we had. And, like, man, starting with Dan Stupp back in 2006, you know, from nothing. But yeah, just things changed, man. Things changed. And it just can't be miserable. Can't be miserable at work. You know what I mean? Like, it's such a big part of your life. Yeah, MP, I owned a little tiny piece of it years and years ago, but we sold to USA Today back in 2011, so I didn't own any of it. But I still tried to run it like I owned it, man. I still tried to run it like it was my business, you know, like take ownership, have that much pride in it, you know. And like I said, things just changed. And yeah, Richard, it's funny because there's a lot of people that don't know that I've left yet, and that's okay. Like, it's, you know, I'm not trying to. You know me, man. I'm just trying to be out here doing my thing. But I think there's a lot of people that don't even know I don't work there anymore. But we'll get the word out. We'll get the education done. We'll grow this thing slowly but surely. Working on some deals in the background right now that are exciting, very, very exciting. So maybe have some news over the next couple months. Just takes time. You know, it's funny because it's a brand in the underground that's been around since 1998, but not a lot of infrastructure. You know, we're a small little company, so we're it's like a startup. So we're building from the ground up, but we're gonna do it again. We're gonna do it again. Yeah, it's true, MP. It's true. It's true. And just, you know, the hard part that sucks about realizing sometimes is that, like, you give so much of yourself to a company and then the company doesn't give it back to you, and you just always have to remember that. Like, I am thankful to MMA Junkie, to Gannett, to USA Today. Like, they employed me for years and years and years, so I'm not gonna sit here and talk bad about them. Like, they paid me a salary, they gave me medical insurance, you know what I mean? Like, I bought my house through the money that was given to me. I support my family through the money that was given to me. So, you know, I'm not gonna sit here and talk bad about them, but boy, that loyalty and, like, who's really looking out for you, man, it's hard, right? When they don't show it back to you, when you're like, man, I think you just always have to remember that, like, hey, I could work a few extra hours tonight, or I could go spend time with my wife and kid, or I could go do this family thing. Go do the family thing. You know what I mean? Like, because that loyalty, it's not repaid, unfortunately. Unfortunately, in a lot of ways. If it is, then thank God for the job you have, and tell your boss that's an awesome boss. But when that loyalty is not repaid, you got to start looking around, right? There you go, Andrew. Watch out. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do it again. I love that. Damn straight, Richard. Does he call the brand or does he call the guy? Huh? I don't hear him calling for the website. I hear him calling for the man. I appreciate you. I see, this is that positivity right now. Yo. See? Stairway, you said it right there. Even better community. We got the positive vibes. So, Richard Noggin, MMA Underground is not mine. I am just a part of it. We're talking about some things, though. We're talking about some things. It's a really, really small LLC. So, the Underground, the website, man, it's been around since 1998. Huge message board back in the day, like massive. Still message board still does a lot of traffic, but it was like the online home. Like Dana used to post in the forums. A lot of fighters used to post in the forums. They've gotten a little toxic. That's one part of the community we'll have to work on. But they never really did a lot with the front end with the website, and that's kind of what we're doing now. So, kind of building it back up from scratch. And fortunately, everybody's been super cool in the industry to support us. We do have a content partnership with Sports Illustrated as well, so you see a lot of my work on Sports Illustrated. And so, I like that though, MP. Your legacy is what your kids say about you. It's true. That's a big thing too, is having freedom to make choices that I think make it better. So, no, I didn't buy it, but stay tuned. We'll just say that. Stay tuned. We got some exciting things going on in the background. Yeah, I don't know if believe it or not, I don't know if I saved those, Mark. Let me see. That was pretty funny. Surely I did. That was fun at the last pay-per-view as we were making up graphics on the fly. My man Cody Merrow was helping us out. I don't think I saved it. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, it's got the UFC 274 there. You know what? I might just throw it on anyway because it's fun. For anybody that wasn't around during Phoenix, hold on, let's see. That's too funny. There's those graphics. But it says UFC 274, so we'll turn them off. But damn, that's a damn fine graphic, though. Oh, I turned the stream off. Yeah, how about we don't do the stream and we just do that? Yeah, we'll get Mero in here. We'll get Mero in here a full time at some point. Right now, he's just helping me out a little bit, and I appreciate it. Yeah, Ortega versus Yair. Happy to see that one. Slick fight. Yeah, MP, I'm feeling Volkov on this one. But Jairzinho can obviously end the fight with one shot. I have this sneaking feeling it's going to be kind of a longer fight than we might like it to be for a heavyweight main event, but I might be wrong. Yeah, MP, that was from a night in Fight Island. Smoking a cigar in Abu Dhabi.
All right, next fighter to the scale competing on the main card live on E+ in the flyweight division, Ode Osborne.
$126.
126, the official weight for Ode Osborne.
Kind words, Chris Davern. Much appreciated. We're going to build this bad boy. It'll take a little time, but we're going to build this bad boy. Yeah, Mark, where is Gianni's teeth? It's tough because with my new schedule, like I'm not going to be able to do every weigh-in. So, I know the consistency is so important, but gotta take them paychecks when I can get them paychecks, you know. So like next week, I'm not doing Singapore, so I won't be doing a stream for that. And then the following week after that, I'm actually, let's see, June 18th, which is the Austin show. Normally I'd go to Texas, but I had actually committed to going to a show out in Brussels. So I'm going to a local show out in Belgium, so we'll have some fun out there. John and Cold Coffee talking about training. Let me hear what's going on. See if we can listen to this conversation. All right, I don't want to listen to family conversations now. Yeah, Mark. Give me the 2. Yeah, I'll be there in 2 weeks. Thank you guys. I appreciate that. Yeah, timing was nuts, man, and I appreciate those kind of words. Yeah, it was yeah, there was just so much frustration behind the scenes, and that opportunity came up, and we got some exciting plans for it. You know, we've been doing good so far, but there's some big plans. We're talking about some things, so fingers crossed. There's some discussions behind the scene. It'll be pretty cool. Glover, Yuri's tough, man. I think I'm leaning Yuri, to be honest with you. I'm leaning Yuri. I talked to Yuri yesterday morning, so that interview's up on the YouTube channel if you want to check that out later today. But Glover's really good and underrated and all those things. But there you go, exactly. Andrew, I think you nailed it right there. The best fundamentals in all of MMA. So that's what's weird. It's when you look at the styles, it's like the fundamentals versus the wildness, right? Because both guys are capable of finishing the fight. So is it the wildness or is it the fundamentals? And normally you'd say fundamentals, probably. Fundamentals. So, I'm definitely gonna be a beer walking tour there. All right, I'm in, bro. I love Belgian beers, man. Trust me, frosty beverages are going to be consumed. Yeah, so it's 2 weeks out, but I'll be at Bushido, 84. My friend Gokhan, who I've known for years, it's his promotion, and he asked me if I wanted to come over and check it out. So I'm gonna come over and check it out. I believe it's on. It's a pay-per-view on. I believe it's kokfights.tv. So, but I'm just gonna go check out the show and maybe bring a little coverage from over there as well. Have a little fun, drink some beer. I'm looking forward to it. Like half vacation, half work. Ooh, look at that, Andrew. Yuri doesn't impress me. I think that record is... Look, man, he's capable of finishing fights, but as you said, those fundamentals, can they catch him out of position? Can they expose some weakness in that wildness? I'm excited for that fight. Yeah, Richard Noggin, those cold, refreshing, dark beers, bro. I'm looking forward to them. I like that stairway. I like that comparison right there. The comparison to Charles and Poirier. Yuri's dangerous, unpredictable, has the power. Glover has more ways to win the fight. So true. I mean, if Glover can walk through some of that wildness and take the fight to the ground, right? Much more dangerous on the ground. Like a bigger Michelle Pereira. The nephew's going to catch his uncle. Yuri by TKO. Using the athleticism. That's interesting. Using his athleticism as a crutch almost. That's a pretty interesting way to put it. I can't say I disagree with it. I mean, I hate to use it as a crutch because it's like such a damn... I mean, was he 28-3? You know what I mean? Like, but I see what you're saying. Like, you're using that athleticism that you have to make up for what you're lacking in terms of technique. But are you lacking in terms of technique? I mean, that's his choice to be wild, right? Like, I was actually asked him about that, in the interview. I was like, your wildness, like, to your coaches, do they praise it, or are they like, bro, can you please calm down and do things a little bit more normal and predictable? He's like, nah, man. He's like, I'm trying to stay unpredictable for my opponent too. So, I don't know, that was good. Nah, but it's not poor phrasing, Andrew. I like it. I like it. It's a good point. But you're right. Yeah, the crutch is kind of like a loaded word. Like, it makes it seem like, oh, weakness. But I like what you're saying. Steroid says it controls his energy better than Pereira. That's definitely true. Definitely controls his energy better there. Although Pereira is getting better at that as well. Kind of toning down the wildness a little bit. Gustafsson versus Krylov on the London card. Great to see Gus back in there. It is. It is. Such a weird position that he's in and career that he's had. Just right there. Right there. But just right below that top level, but still great career. Yeah, cutting out backflips in the middle of the cage will help you conserve your energy just a little bit. Funny how that works. Oh, Johnny Anik has the mic back in his hand. Looks like maybe we're going to get back to work. Yep, Chef Mullen making his way in. Let's see who we got.
All right, next fighter to the scale, competing in a prelim in the UFC's lightweight division, Alex de Silva. $155.5, the official weight for Alex de Silva. Don't let the beard fool you, folks. That's Joe Salecki.
Why maybe give it to me?
Great.
That's not my choice.
My wife was like, don't shave your face for a wedding.
I didn't know it was so hideous without one.
No, it looks good, man. It looks good. All right, next fighter to the scale in the UFC's lightweight division, Joe Salecki. $155.5, the official weight for Joe Salecki.
John Anik over here talking trash about Bilal Muhammad. All right, so, I mean, really, we're just here chatting, but if you're into the weigh-ins, Andreas Mikhailidis still to weigh in, Dan Ige still to weigh in, and that's it, other than the headliners, Alexander Volkov, Jairzinho, Rozenstruik. Probably no surprise that they're not waking up early. Heavyweights. They're having some breakfast, having some coffee, and they'll come in later. As a new subscriber of 5 minutes, and I got a lot of changes to be made. All right, Justin, let's hear him. Let's hear what changes we need. Kid has a good chance to beat Salecki. Yeah, Anik does have a Celtics T-shirt on, Mark Fellows. Heidi Dean, to show support, brought in a Celtics jacket, which I think Anik took a picture in earlier. He's definitely all in on it. Anik over there talking to Jeff Mullen right now. I like that. Regulators and broadcasters talking together about the sport. I love that stuff. Sean Brady versus Usman right now. Whew. Look, man, how do you pick against Usman against anybody right now, man? But Sean Brady's a good stylistic matchup, assuming. Now, again, Sean Brady, his last matchup with Kies, everybody's like, oh, question the cardio. I talked to Sean Brady a couple weeks ago. He's like, make sure people realize, I broke my nose in the first punch of the fight. I couldn't breathe out of my nose. Blood is pouring down my throat. Can't breathe out there. That really affected me. Back to business.
All right, next fighter to the scale, competing in the UFC's welterweight division for the first time, Andreas Mikhailidis.
and a half.
170 and a half, the official weight for Andreas Mikhailidis.
Truth. Yeah, man, that looks like a new dude right there. What do we got there? Checking the odds on that one. Plus 215? I mean, that's at least interesting, right? All right, yeah. So kind of back to that. So, broke his nose first punch of the fight. Sean Brady's like, can't breathe through my nose, blood pouring down my throat. Obviously, that can barely breathe there. It's like I knew it was just gonna be a gut check. He's like, but people that question my cardio like crazy. I got cardio for days. That just wasn't a good representation. But we're talking about Usman. Top 3 pound for pound right now, like at the worst, like on anybody's list. So, Hamza and Brady, I'd like to see that fight as well. I know a lot of the people in the Brady camp believe that fight's probably happening at some point. And, oh, by the way, I should say Brady did have surgery to repair that nose, and that's all healed up and stuff now. So I don't know that means it won't break again, but he at least got it done. Such a great fight, man. That Hamzat Burns fight was so good. So good. You know what's cool about that is I feel like Gilbert's popularity is at an all-time high. And I think that's cool to see, that even in defeat, people are like, that's my guy. I want to, I got respect for that guy. Took the challenge nobody wanted when he didn't have to. Fought his ass off. Arguably won. I did have it scored for Hamzat. But, it was a competitive fight, and it was fun, and I love the fact that Gilbert's getting so much respect after a fight like that. It's pretty cool. I mean, obviously, the sport is about wins and losses. You got to win fights, but when you can make fans, even in a fight you lose because you went out there and busted your ass and fought the dude that nobody wanted to fight, I like that. All right, so at this point, we're just down to Danny. Oh, I think maybe Dan's here. Let's see. We just need Dan Ige and our headliners.
All right, next fighter to the scale. The other half of the co-main event in the UFC's featherweight division, number 10 in the world, Dan Ige.
$145.5.
145.5, the official weight for Dan Ige.
Keep the name to the very last. I don't have to do any editing until the end of it. Nice.
All right, who's going to go to the breakfast buffet and get those guys out?
Yeah, exactly. Where have you been? Were you at the last one? You weren't at the last show, Gary, were you?
No, I missed one of the last ones. I was out of town. UFC, I was doing a CFSC show.
It was the Holly Holm one.
Yeah, I was doing a CFFC commentary gig the night before.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I'm not doing Singapore next week. I'm not doing Austin after that either.
Must be nice.
It is. It is.
Dude, I don't know how you did it for so long.
Did it for a long time,
That's
man.
fucking
For a long time.
insane.
But yeah, it's nice. I was always worried, for a year, like, hey man, if I don't go to every show, like, people are gonna forget me and I'm not gonna matter. And now I'm finally like, I've been around long enough. Like,
I think you're okay.
I think I'm alright.
Yeah, okay.
835 horsepower, 908 foot-pounds.
All right, somebody's got to go call the heavyweights, wake them up, tell them to put the coffee and breakfast down. All right, which one? The best dog on the card?
They started.
I can't believe gambling's not legal in California. That's crazy. I think it'll be legal everywhere soon, right? I mean, people are getting over it. Ige by KO. All right, let's look at the odds. Best underdog. Ooh, Evloev versus Tapuri would be nice. I mean, all right. Jairzinho as an underdog, slight underdog, but I mean, I'm taking Volkov in that, but obviously Jairzinho has the ability to finish the fight, right? See a lot of people liking Ige in the chat this morning. I'm looking at plus 300 for him, but again, I'd pick Mozart, but plus 300. Somebody said Carolina as a dog. I'm looking at basically a pick 'em on that. Zaruk's a dog. He's dangerous, but I like Ode in that fight too. J Aldrich at plus 350. Man, when she's on, she's on. But I do think Blanchfield's legit as hell. Nothing stands out to me as like, ooh, that line's wrong. That line's wrong. But if I was forced to play a dog, man, it's tough. I like the favorites a lot in here. I kind of like Andreas at a plus 215. I guess maybe I'd take Jairzinho, even though I'm picking Volkov. If I had to play a dog, maybe Jairzinho. Tough. I'm not seeing either just stand out to me as like, ooh, that line's wrong. Oh, Delirium Cafe. I'll check that out. Andrew loving that 50K Ige. That's a good one, man. Especially at those odds. Plus 300? But I think most are really good. Yeah, Andrew, so it's funny, like oh look, Stairway says Ige by KO, put money on it. Boy, if Ige's plus 300, I bet Ige by KO strong too. Yeah, so it's funny, Andrew, like I do like talking about the odds and I do enjoy looking at it, but it's hard for me to put money on. Like I don't bet on the fights for exactly that reason. Like I feel like it screws me up as a reporter, man. I'm not able to separate myself from the money, you know? So it's like I'll come back and be like, that was a robbery. Well, no. Was it a robbery or was it because your bet didn't cash? Now, you know what I mean? So I feel like if I bet on it, I can't just give a true unbiased opinion. Which sucks because sometimes, not like I'm the world's best fight picker ever, but, you know, I think over the course of like the 10 years that we tracked it at MMA Junkie, I think I was like 66% over the course of 10 years. So, I mean, imagine you can be profitable at that pick rate. But I just feel like I can't come back and be completely unbiased when I talk about a fight if I have money on it. Ha, Chrissy J. Appreciate you. Stairway. I was torn on that one, man. I thought Holly won it. Watching live, I thought Holly won it. But I thought it was close. It was one of those ones where, like, to call it a robbery, those rounds were so close. That's what tripped me out. And I was talking about it on our podcast, MMA Roadshow. Subtle little drop there. I was talking about, like, I wonder if the fact that next week there was no UFC show and no major MMA show is why everyone kept talking about it so much. Because while I did think Holly won the fight, I thought it was a really, really close fight. And for that to be the fight that everybody's like, oh, man, this judging system is screwed up. We got to fix this, et cetera, et cetera. Like, it just made me wonder, like, how much of that is just because there was just nothing else to talk about. So that was what we talked about. But I had it for Holly. Ooh. Scott McCray. Damn, I didn't know it was that high. Placed the wager for you by KO as a prop bet plus 1,100. I like that. Nah, it's funny. I think that's one of the reasons I can. I've lived in Vegas since 2008, so like 14 years now. Uh, yeah, I'm not a big gambler, so it's funny to me, man. Like I'm not a big gambler, and I think that helps me living here. But like, I have zero problems going and let's say like go have a nice steak dinner, a couple martinis, little wine, go drop $200 on a dinner. That's great food, great. Like I'm like, oh, money well spent. Amazing meal, good drinks, good service. Down. I go and lose like $200 gambling at a table. I want to, like, I go crazy. I'm like, what an idiot I am. Why did I just waste my money? So it's just not my vice, thankfully. Yeah, Chris, it was a bad fight. Like, that's not the one to blow up the system over. But you're right. It's interesting, Stairway. Vieira, she was landing the better shots, but it's kind of a weird system because it's not like a video game where you can tell how much energy it saps. So it's like if Holm comes in and lands like 3 of those little pitter-pat shots and Vieira lands 1 counter right, the counter right, if it's more immediately impactful, is supposed to be worth more. But if it doesn't drop her, if it doesn't physically hurt her, if it doesn't cut her, like we're just guessing that it hurt more, and that's the part that's kind of hard about the system, I guess. Andrew, I don't watch a lot of MMA commentary on YouTube. I need to do more. I'm gonna have to be doing more, to be honest with you, as we grow this thing. That's what I'm gonna be doing more of probably. But I don't watch a lot of it. Right now, we're a staff of 1, so I don't have a lot of spare time to watch much of anything. But usually I listen to a lot of podcasts and stuff though in the background, like just to have some audio on in the background. Yeah, Scott, I did watch that. I like those. I watched those, the match. Those are fun. T-Bone in the house. T-Bone, you messed up, right? You didn't realize it was an hour earlier? Yeah, Richard's interesting, right? It's so the judges. So obviously I've met a lot of them over the years. And I can tell you, man, they do care a lot more than people think. They really do. Like they get together and talk after every fight. They have training calls. There's they review fights together. They discuss it. The judges do care, but it's interesting because they're not really. They're encouraged not to speak to the media, which is understandable. But sometimes I would just like to understand why. Like, why did you score that round? Like, just to hear why, just to hear what they were thinking, what they were pointing towards. I think it would be helpful. I said, like, look, maybe the judges themselves don't need to, but, like, maybe if there's a controversial fight, like maybe the commission rep, the executive director, whoever, maybe they can come to the press conference for 5 minutes and just be like, I spoke to the judges in this one particular controversial fight, and here's what they told me they were looking at. So at least maybe, like, the judges don't have to come to the press conference, but maybe they get shielded a little bit. But I wish there was more transparency in terms of, or at least just not even transparency, I mean just communication, I guess, because I know those guys care. Like, they beat themselves up over it, man. They really do. Did I get it right? Did I get it wrong? Studying. They do. They care more than you think. Yeah, T-Bone, see, you had the schedule wrong. 10 a.m. Pacific time start tomorrow for the fights. 1 p.m. for the main card. Early day. Don't love the early start if I'm being 100% honest, but it will be nice to be done with work and still be daylight outside. That'd be kind of cool. Yeah. Appreciate you, Scott. I realize the value in it now. Posting it the night before, so I'll do that every week. Get it set up so there's like a reminder. Yeah, Chris, man, it's the most thankless job ever, man. Referee and judge, like, if you get it right, it's not like anybody praises you for getting it right. They're just like, you did your job. And if you get it wrong, and it's so hard, too, in this one, both referees and judges, because, I mean, in every other sport, you make mistakes, and it's like, all right, well, yeah, you made that one bad call. You'll give them a makeup call somewhere else. You know what I mean? Like, we'll lean back. You can't do that. Like, the only decisions you're making as a referee in the fight, the only decisions you're making as a judge are scores of the fight. It's tough. Chris, yeah, from a UK perspective, you guys deserve this. Man, UK/European fans, no idea how you guys do it, man. Much respect to everybody that stays up till 4 in the morning watching fights. Brutal, man. Brutal. T-Bone is a little bit of both. Like, because obviously you have to conduct yourself professionally, but you can't help but sometimes just be like, oh, what? Crazy. You know, like, I mean, I love the sport too, man. I'm still a fan. I love the sport. Somebody actually sent me a screenshot the other day of Yuri knocking out Dominic Reyes, and like my hands are over my head because I was just like, oh, because you can't help it. Like some of it's just like, whoa. So I try to conduct myself professionally, but there's just some moments where you're just like, wow, I can't believe I just watched that, you know? And again, you can't act like an idiot, but I think it's, I mean, if you're covering a sport, you got to have some appreciation for it, right? Like if you don't have appreciation for like how amazing something is or how surprising something is or how unexpected something is, then how can you convey that in your reporting, you know? But if you really truly love the sport and you realize like, oh my gosh, what this moment means, you know. But you know, again, I try not to be like jump up and start clapping or anything. But there's just some moments where it's just your human reaction where you're like, oh. It's preposterous. Madness.
John, is it not a little bit depressing that he didn't even do the Conor McGregor? You know,
Should have.
I really could have helped us out.
He should have. He is the Ukrainian Conor McGregor.
I was reading about the whole record stuff. You did?
He's officially 19 and 12 now.
Yeah, from what was it originally 25 and 5?
I think he was 21 and 7, and then he went to 25 and 7, and then went to like 21 and 11, and now he's 19 and 12.
Why did they sign him?
Rabbits. I mean, it's rabbits.
Controversy sells.
Feels a bit. But then it's like they sign him and they give him Alonso. It's like we feel like they're doing it.
They must have realized somewhere along the way, and they're like, oh, we'll fix this. Yeah, stairways. I haven't heard of a better scoring system, and obviously I've been doing this for a long time. I've heard a lot of things. The whole fight scoring is tough because, like, how do you value what happens in round 1 equal to what happens in round 5? Like, it's just human. Like, how do you remember all that? How do you balance that? And I think that's difficult. You know, there's been people that say like points for punches and kicks and stuff like that, but like, come on, that's impossible to do. But the point you make is true. Like, how does the score of Rose and Carla be the same as Gilbert and Hamza at like 10-9? Like, those are 10-9 rounds. Like, how can they be? And then So then you, excuse me, then you hear like the half point scores, and I understand the half point system. That's nice, but like the thing that bothers me there is that like if we're saying the judges aren't picking the right round winners, why are we now going to assess them? You know, ask them to assess half points. Like you're saying, they're not even picking the right winner, but you think them picking half points is going to be better? Like I don't get that. Then there's people that say, well, we need more judges. And I'm like, well, if you're saying that the judges we have aren't qualified, then why is having more people going to work? Like, so if we can't even find 3 qualified judges, how do we find 5 or 7 qualified judges? I don't get that. And then you talk about open scoring, and that's, to me, that's a whole different conversation. Open scoring has nothing to do with making judges better. I mean, to me, that to me is the big part. It's just constant education and making them better. Like open score. By the way, yeah, that was Oscar. He walked up, and Oscar Willis had a quick chat. Everybody's talking about the Askar Mozarov, whose record officially on the broadcast is now down to 19-12. That dude's in a weird situation, man. He's better come in and impress, or he might be one and done. T-Bone, bring a pillow to yell into. You get used to yelling on the inside. Oh, sorry, Mark. I just saw it. Anik was here. He walked off. He's in the back now. 45 minutes left. We're just waiting on the headliners at this point, by the way, if you're here for the weigh-ins. Yeah, Scott McCrae. I was just talking about that. That's one thing that I really do believe too. So here's one of the things I say. All right, so there's people say, "Oh, what other sport do you not know what the score is until the end?" You know? Okay, fine. But the point of this sport is not to score points. The point of this sport is to knock out or submit your opponent. You know, it's you know, in the NBA finals, one team can't be up by 20 and then the other team knocks them out in the third round. So the whole thing about, well, everybody needs to know the score, I don't get that. But I think exactly what you said is right. You know, how many times have you seen a fighter get kind of distracted by like a referee's decision towards a foul or not calling a foul or whatever the case may be? I just think that the open scoring would definitely have the ability. Jeff said the heavyweights are waking up. Now he's joking like the rest of us. Sounds like one of the heavyweights is here. But yeah, I just think the potential for distraction in between fight, like, you know, that 60 seconds where you're trying to calm the fighter down and get them to focus and make the adjustments, and then now you're seeing like, oh, that was a bad call. Like what? Nah. And the way it affects the judges, I don't like it. Stairway. So it turns out his record has been changing because I guess like some of the fights that were turned in were not legitimate. So, yeah, it's got the mic.
All right, next fighter to the scale, one of the gentlemen around whom this fight card was built, the 8th-ranked heavyweight in the world, Biggie Boy Jairzinho Rozenstruik. .259, the official weight for Jairzinho Rozenstruik.
All right, we're getting a little video and photo editing done there. Check up here. Yeah, that's it. So I asked him about it. And granted, I went stairway. This is you talking about. And talking about Mozarov, I asked him the other day about it because it's been kind of a story. Like Sherdog did a story on it, and his thing was that like he's changed names along the way. He said because of his stepdad, and then some of his fights in China were supposed to be like semi-pro, and didn't think they were going on his pro record. I don't know, but yeah, his record changed pretty significantly along the way. So not a great look. And if you read that story on Sherdog, it seems like it's not just an accident, like it's not just record keeping. So not a great look by any stretch. 8. Next for Gregor Gillespie, man. I've heard, from my understanding, he's, kind of turned down some fights in the background. So I don't know if they just weren't appealing to him or what the issue was. But my understanding is he's kind of not been taking some fights. So I'm not sure what should be next one because I've heard some things have been offered to him and they didn't appeal to him. Yeah, a stairway. That's my understanding too. So supposedly, there's like a year of inactivity, but that's not like an official rule. Which actually, so I vote on the rankings, UFC rankings panel. I started doing that recently, and I told them I was like, I think you need to make it official. Like there needs to be, a set in stone kind of rule because they took him out because he's turning down fights basically. But I was like, in order to make sure that it doesn't look like you're just trying to punish a guy, you need to make sure that the standard of time they don't take fights is consistent. So we'll see if that gets changed. All right, here we go.
All right, our final fighter to weigh in this morning, the man around whom this fight card was built, the 7th-ranked UFC heavyweight contender, Drago Alexander Volkov.
and a half.
256 and a half, the official weight for Alexander Volkov. With that, your UFC Fight Night main event is official.
Let's get this thing done. All right, gotta do a little photo video editing real quick. Find out if we're gonna wait 30 minutes or not, but we'll definitely have the face-offs here as well. All right, got this little video edited. Oh, I see Cody Merrill jumped in the chat. What's going on? Oh, John Dotson to BKFC. I didn't see that. All right, let me get this camera lens changed out here. So go to a little bit wider shot. So you will lose picture just for a second as we get set up for the face-offs. Should be starting sooner rather than later, hopefully. Good to know. Good to know. We're getting there. We're getting there.
I'm your fucking guy. I'll bust my ass for you.
We can chat. We can chat. All right, pictures back. I see Sean Shelby's in the building.
Wow, they haven't even struck the scale yet.
Yeah, maybe somebody needs to know. Kashawn's here. Yeah, let's look at the scale off stage first. Yeah, Shavkat's legit. That dude's gonna be around for a while. Cody, yeah, man, dude, I've been tired this whole week, bro. It's been rough. And just think, so Cody dropped by CFFC this past weekend. He was at the grappling event on Saturday, and then we ended up having some frosty beverages and hanging out, talking shop until about 4 o'clock in the morning. And then I flew home and went to the AEW show where Punk won the title on Monday. I'm still not fully recovered yet. On Monday, Memorial Day, I was just an absolute disaster. Yeah, probably should have just kept going, man. You'd been better off. I slept like 90 minutes and then had to go to the airport, something like that. I got like a quick little nap. Slept a little bit on the plane. But the wrestling show was fun, man. Seeing CM Punk out there was cool. And my kid was having a blast the whole time. And anybody that's a parent, man, if your kid's having a good time, you're having a good time. He was enjoying it, so it was fun. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Here's some breaking news for you, Diego. He was over at AG Fight. They're starting to subtitle their Portuguese language commentary. So he was asking me if we'd feature it, and we definitely will. 10 straight weeks of UFC fights. Let's go. International Fight Week on the way. Yeah, get hydrated up. I know there'll be some frosty beverages consumed. Looking forward to International Fight Week. Actually, like a proper International Fight Week again with an expo and all that. And I know Simon Head and Abby Saban are making their way over. See some old friends there. Looking forward to that. Yeah, we gotta get some sponsored frosty beverages for sure. So I guess the answer is we are waiting till the top of the hour with the face-offs. I was hoping maybe we could have done it a little bit earlier. Don't forget, early start time tomorrow, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 a.m. Eastern for your prelims. 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern for the main card. No, we don't, Hans. I think that's just personal choice for the gentleman on camera. I don't know. I was gonna say maybe some job roles required. Oh, seeing Joe Williams making his way across there. Maybe it's getting in position for these face-offs. Maybe we'll go a touch early. All right, let's do this face-offs. Nah, everybody just be happy to see you. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I can move. That's the corner there. That's Cold Coffee's gear. Out cold coffee. Cambo slice. Yeah, Richard, it's 10 a.m. our time. First fight's 10 a.m. our time. First time for us check-ins 9 a.m.
Sticking around for the stare downs, UFC Fight Night, Volkov versus Rozenstruik. We are live on ESPN Plus for the entire card, and we will begin with the prelims. as we welcome the great Sean Shelby to the stage. First fight in the women's flyweight division, Erin Blanchfield versus J Aldrich. All right, next fight at welterweight, Rinat Fakhretdinov versus Andreas Mikhailidis. All right, next matchup in the UFC flyweight division, Jeff Molina versus Zhalgas Zhumagulov. All right, next up at bantamweight, Johnny Munoz versus Tony Gravely. All right, moving on now to the lightweight division, Nicholas Stolze versus Benoit Saint-Denis. All right, next up in the UFC featherweight division, Damon Jackson versus Dan Orgetta. All right, next prelim is at lightweight, Joe Salecki versus Alexis Silva.
Boa, Leco.
All right, and our featured prelim is in the UFC women's strawweight division, the rematch between Felice Herrig and Karolina Kowalkiewicz. All right, that brings us to the main card. First up in the light heavyweight division, Alonzo Menafield versus Askar Mozarov. All right, moving on now to the flyweights. Ode Osborne versus Zaruk Adashev. Go ahead, Ode. All right, in the women's flyweight division, Karini Silva versus Poliana Botello. All right, that brings us to a featured bout in the UFC's featherweight division. Michael Trisano versus Lucas Almeida. All right, co-main event is also at featherweight. 10th ranked Dan Ige taking on number 13, Movsar Evloev. All right, and finally our heavyweight main event. Number 7, Alexander Volkov taking on 8th ranked Jairzinho Rozenstruik. All right, Alexander Volkov, Jairzinho Rozenstruik under the lights here tomorrow at the UFC Apex. Early start time, 10 a.m. local for our first fight. One more sleep. We'll see you tomorrow.
All right, that's going to do it. Guys, appreciate it. Always enjoy hanging out, chatting with you. Thanks for everybody that joined in, and appreciate all the support. We'll keep doing this, growing this bad boy. Cody Merrill, appreciate your help, my man. Guys, have a wonderful afternoon. We'll see you tomorrow morning.